So I'm going to take you for a walk on the dam. And the Tortugas Dam is here in Las Cruces. This is a drone video that was shot by Stuart Whitehead. It shows some of the larger pieces up on the dam. And this is the top of the dam. This is University Avenue, and this crossroads right up here where a white car is coming out, if you can see it, is desert sands. And I walk through the neighborhood and up to this part of the dam and walk along the top of the dam. I live over in this area. My mother used to live over here about 1.5 miles away, and I used to walk every morning and go see her. When she passed away in 2017 at 95 years old, I decided I wasn't going to walk in the development anymore. I wanted to get out in the countryside, and I saw people walking on the dam, and I thought, I'll go and try that. And that's my faithful companion, Bandit. As I was walking along the dam, I noticed all these rocks on the edge of the dam, and I was curious about them. Every day they seemed to grow a little longer and longer. And about a year later, I met two fellows that were doing the rock line along the dam. I had been taking like all white rock or yellow or red or black and putting it at the end of the row. And then over the days, I'd see how long it had gone since I last put my markers down. But after a while, I decided I would just walk down far enough away to go ahead and just take those 4 colors, red and yellow and black and white, and make some designs with them just for fun, just to see how long it would take them to get to my designs. This is John and Greg is helping me throw rocks down the hill that were brought by another friend, Eric. So this is a real community project. I'll introduce you to a few more people here. This is Mary. Mary brings a backpack load of rocks almost every day. What colors do you need, Kathy? And then there's a little pile of yellow or black. This is Sam. Sam built a rickshaw so he could carry more rocks to me. He was using a backpack and carrying 60 or 70 pounds of rocks in a backpack, plus some big boulders that size. Eric was bringing tile. He asked me if I needed tile, and I didn't know if I did or not, but as I started using it, I found it very useful. And Eric seems to have a bottomless pit of tile that he keeps bringing me. And Hank was bringing me some flagstone from a project where he was removing it from his property. Lots of people donate glass bottles. I use glass and tile and rocks. And some of the artists in the area paint rocks, and I've found a lot of little painted rocks up on the dam next to my artwork or along the line of rocks. Here's a cute one. This is my local art critic. And Bandit keeps an eye out for the coyotes for me. He warns me if they're around. So the first design I did was a medicine wheel, and the medicine wheel has yellow, red, black, and white representing directions or sometimes the nations of man. White is in the north, red is in the south, yellow is in the east, and black is in the west. Somebody added a cross. It got kicked apart, so I put it back and I added another cross, and it seems like 3 crosses is left alone better than 1. This is a medicine wheel with 2 magpies on it, and it's a print, but the original was a scratch board. I go to a lot of rescue centers. This is a bear rescue center, a photograph I took that became part of a painting. And this is a tortoise that visits us in the summertime, and we feed it strawberries, but it comes and goes as it pleases, back to the desert, back to our yard. And this is a painting I did in acrylic called The Tortoise and the Bear. And this is my tortoise in rock using the 4 colors, swirling them like a pinwheel. After a rain, the colors are absolutely stunning. And here's my bear, one of my bears. This is the little bear. He's walking and he's on top of an eagle feather. This eagle's name is Spirit. He's from a wildlife rescue center in northern New Mexico. And this is a kinetic painting that I did of Spirit. These are 2 paintings that are sawed apart and put together on angles, and they're planned for each other in the middle view. You see both at the same time, and they fit together like a puzzle. So this is the left view, the center view, the right view, and my rock eagle. And the eagle had some lines that were like stripes that swirled around into stars, and the stars and stripes met into a horse, tied into the mane of the horse. And this is the horse after a rainstorm. This is a scratchboard painting called Sea Spot Run. It's a print. I've sold the original. I have the 4 horses in here. I use this theme quite a bit, so it was natural to pick up those colors on the dam. Yellow man, white man, red man, black man, and the harmony of colors in the Appaloosa. This is the beginning of a painting on scratchboard, continuing the painting, cutting detail with a knife, using a knife and cutting every vein of the feather, all the textures of the hair. And this one's finished. It's called Dallas Dreams. And here's Dallas, one of my models. He lives here in Las Cruces. So we're back on the eagle again. I have to tell you a story about the eagle. There has been some vandalism up on the dam. This was quite a while ago, but there was some recently too. Somebody drove through the face of the eagle, and I started to build the eye back again, but the next day they finished it off. And so I decided to collect the rocks and move them to another part of the dam. I moved the horse down to the opposite end, the running horse. And I moved the eagle downhill a little bit more, very steep in this area. So if they drive through it, they're probably going to roll their vehicle. Somebody left a little blessing by the eagle, a hawk feather. And this is my horned toad in scratchboard called Desert Designs. Walking up on the dam, I found some baby horned toads. These are little hatchlings, really tiny. You can see how big it is compared to my hand. But it was inspiration for a rock horned toad. This is Manu. He's from a rescue center in northern New Mexico. This is a scratchboard painting of Manu, watercolor on white clay and cutting all the fur with a knife. And here's the beginning of a wolf. After a rain. New Mexico Zia design. And this is a scratchboard painting called Messia Harvest with a basket with a Zia design. And there's my little quail. This is actually the smallest piece up there. It's about 18 inches from the top knot to the tail. And there's a Coco Pele request that I had. There's tarantulas up there in the summertime, late summer. So I did a spider, a big spider in a web. And after rain, this baby is it's a scratchboard called Mama, Can I Keep Him? He's got himself a big bullfrog. And here's my frog. We're just starting it. You can see the progression. He's catching a fly with his tongue. And my dog waits so patiently for me. He doesn't understand what I'm doing, but he just sits and waits. Fox. Bandit posing with the fox. This fox is from a rescue center, and this is a drawing of a middle view that will be a kinetic painting. I'll show you that in a minute. So this is the middle view. This is the painting from the left, the middle view that you saw in the pencil drawing, and the right. So these are two paintings. This is one painting, and this is the other painting. And they're sliced apart and put together, and they create that middle view like my plan in the pencil. Buckets of rocks. The rocks, they started coming in buckets, and then after a while they came by the trailer load from Toro Rock Quarry up by Oregon, here east of Las Cruces, little town of Oregon. I was collecting rocks, getting ready to do a piece, and somebody gathered them up and made this lizard. And I would have left it except that it was right in the middle of where I was going to work on my new piece, so it had to go. And I'm starting the wing of a tiger swallowtail butterfly. The butterfly needed a flower, so I built a rose. The flower needed a stem, so I added that. And then, of course, the stem had to have leaves, so it just grew and grew. And this is at the Lundeen Gallery. It's a painting called Tiger, Tiger. And the right view, the middle view, and the left view. When you visit the gallery, you can see that painting. That's a very large painting for a scratchboard. It's as large as the scratchboard can get. 18-foot long rattlesnake. Watch out for rattlesnakes if you're walking on the dam. This one is harmless. There's his tail. It's a diamondback. That's a pattern on the tail and on the back. And for baseball fans, I built the Arizona flag so we could have the Arizona Diamondbacks. And there's the Arizona flag in the rain, and a howling coyote, bandit standing in the rain with the rabbit. This is a monarch butterfly. Every winter, I have to rebuild the butterfly because in the summertime, the ants fill it up and make an ant pile on top of it. So this is the first time I built it, more or less finished, and this is after the ants in the summertime. There's the ant hole right there. And then in the winter, I clean it out, scoop all the rocks out, put the sand back, put the rocks on top of the sand. And the dragonfly that I found up there. Building a dragonfly. I have had this dragonfly vandalized, destroyed 5 times. 4 times. I've built it 5 times, and it's been kicked apart 4 times. So I'll show you. It doesn't take me too long to put things back together again. This is its flight pattern, those curved line rocks. He's flying. And this is kicked apart. And then you're going to see as I start to grab the pieces and put them back together again. Adding more decorative marble and broken glass to it. I'm leaving my house very early in the morning, just before the sun comes up, and there was an owl, great horned owl on top. And this is a scratch board of a great horned owl called Night Song. Detail of cutting with a knife, cutting into the watercolor, exposing the clay. And here's my rock owl. This is a mama owl, and there's her babies. I did a trout up there, and it got messed up the same time as the eagle. Somebody wrote a message, I agree, but I just moved it and rebuilt it. And then the broken glass was mailed to me from friends in Stevensville, Texas. My painting and palette knife of a cougar, my model, another model from another rescue center. This is a middle view drawing of Mountain Mama. The left side, the center, and the right side. Right, center, left, and the pencil drawing. So you can see how close the pencil drawing comes to the real center view. Well, I had to make a cougar. Got some glass. Some of that is from the people in Stevensville. So I was working my way up the hill. It's getting really steep. People were asking me, what kind of rock do you need? Up until now, up until this piece, every piece was made with rock I gathered. And then I think at the Butterfly, I started getting loads and buckets of rock. And I got tile from Eric, and I started burying the tile. I found that if I buried the tile in the sand, I could stand on it and use it as a step ladder to walk up the hill and bury the next tile. So I started using the tile to climb the hill. This is another person, Aletha, that donates glass jars and bottles for me. I wanted to show you Bandit in the middle of this. This was a really large piece, my first real large piece. And that hill is very steep. It doesn't look like it in the photographs, but it is. Tourists started coming. I was walking on the top of the dam, and this roadrunner was walking along in front of me. And as I was clicking my camera on my phone, he was real interested in the noise and came up and almost walked beside me, got in real close. This is an acrylic painting called Beep Beep. I actually started a demo of this painting at the Lundeen Gallery several years ago at a show. And there's the roadrunner, looks like he's stepping out of the picture, and a Whiptail Lizard, a close-up. This is called the Desert Circle of Life. And this is my small rock roadrunner. It's only about 4 feet across from nose, beak to tail. After a rain, I decided I was going to do a big roadrunner. So I started with a Zia design above his back, making his head. But I realized that the land was draining down from 2 different directions right at this point. And I dug out a ditch, lined it with rounded tile, capped it off so that it was a tube, and put dirt and rocks over it, but it was completely hollow. So if the rain washed down through here, it would drain out the other side and not wash the artwork away. This is the Roadrunner starting at tail with glass bottles, green glass bottles. This is part of the head. You can see my drain pipe there. Continuing the tail, lots of beer bottles and Perrier and anything green, whatever was green. Just building a little bit more. And you know, I thought I was building a drain for the rain, but I actually found out I was building a rabbit hutch. There's a little cottontail sitting down here, right where my cursor is. And they go in and out through there and seem to enjoy living there. This is it from far away, from up on top of the dam. Peregrine Falcon, a painting of a kestrel, and this is my falcon in rock. These tiles are set in with dirt and sand and rocks built up under them. So each one is set in and I can walk on it to get to the next one, to get to the next one. It doesn't look that steep, but here's a view from the top down to show you just how steep this is. It's quite a climb, especially carrying rocks and tile. This is Sam, the one with the rockshaw, and he is bringing great big boulders and rocks to fill in the area around the back of my artwork. So all the artwork you see, the gray rock and dark rock around the back, Sam's brought that either in a backpack or a rockshaw. There he is moving some of the rocks in place. Some of these rocks probably weigh 60 or 70 pounds, maybe more. And that's his dog, Roxy. Hummingbird feeder on my back porch. This one's called Paint the Town, an acrylic palette knife. This is A Touch of Paradise, also acrylic and palette knife. And this is my little hummingbird. It's probably about 6 or 7 feet across. And this is my big hummingbird. I used glass jars to do the wing. It's a pretty view, and bottles for part of the wing. This is the top down. Glass jars for the throat, green glass for the head and the body. Somebody recently, well, the 21st of April, took rocks and smashed some of these jars, not all of them, but a few. They did some work on the hummingbird, the bighorn sheep, and the bear. This is an afterthought heart. We had unloaded some white rock here, which I was using up to build the hummingbird, the larger pieces. But the rubble that was left over, I spread it out into the shape of a heart, lined it with tile, and then put hearts on the inside. It wasn't part of my original plan, but it looked really nice, and it was a good thing to do with that white rock. So when I lift up a tile, many times I'll see a whiptail lizard underneath. Inspiration for this one is a whiptail lizard. That's the eye. Top down. And I'm going to take you out to Toro Rock Company in Oregon, and we're going to look at their operation out there. Toro Rock Company has donated tons of rock. 12 ton might be short estimate. This is a sorting machine. The rocks of a certain size are now going down a conveyor belt. And this is the conveyor belt filling the front end loader. And that's Eric's truck down below that's going to accommodate those rocks. And here's another view. It's a long conveyor belt. I'll show you. Okay, we're loading up the trailer, and that one big rock, I don't know how that got up there with those smaller ones, but it was huge. I'll show you later where that landed in the artwork. And this is the trailer. It's got a lift on it, pneumatic lift, and Eric is unloading it by pumping on the back and making it tip up. The big rock you saw is right there. There it goes. Oh yeah, it's great. It landed just where I wanted it. Yes, it landed just where I wanted it. This is the big rock. We just rolled it over here to the top of the, yeah, I got it mixed up, to the top of the Whiptail Lizard. I've got so many pieces here to keep track of. This is some blue marble that people had given me, and I took jars and painted the inside of them with blue sign paint. I'm creating a tail. It's swirling around, and there's the lizard. And there's some jars over here along the edge, 36 of them. Those were mailed to me from Ithaca, New York. My friend Kathleen Ramsey takes care of bears. Baby bears are orphaned from fires, from their mothers having to be killed because they're invading human space, lots of different reasons. Some of them are ill, and she's a wildlife veterinarian. She takes care of them and then releases them when it's an appropriate time. This is Sugar Bear. This is a painting I did of a bear raiding a hummingbird feeder. And this is Cinnamon and Sugar, another version of that painting. These are acrylic paintings, and both have prints. Here is my bear. That's an eye. There's the eye and the nose. The other eye, starting to build that. Tiles. And I did the claws in bottles. And this was the second damage from the vandalism recently. They smashed all these bottles and smashed them on the bear and on the bighorn sheep and the hummingbird. I didn't get to see the first amount of damage because I was spending the day up at Toro Rock working on a piece of art installation for them. So I got to see it when it looked like this. My helping friends, the community, gathered 4 or 5 5-gallon buckets of broken glass, and all that was left was the outline of the claws. So a neighbor was changing her landscape from lava rock to something else and allowed me to go and pick up all the lava rock I wanted, and I filled the claws with lava rock. This is the bear after a snowstorm and the lifting of a fog. Bighorn sheep, and a painting in scratchboard of a bighorn sheep called Shadows of the Future. There is a pueblo in the eye, a reflection in the eye is a pueblo. It's got little ladders and buildings. And this is a statement about if we don't conserve and allow our building to be in certain areas where we have a reservation for the animals, the reserves, the animals are going to fade, and all that's going to be left is art on the walls of the petroglyphs. So, and the beginning of the bighorn sheep. This is actually the arch of an eyebrow And that's the beginning of an ear and the start of the curve of a horn. This is from halfway down, not all the way down, just to show you how steep it is. That's from all the way down. Continuing the curve of the horn. Had a lot of people guessing what this was. The eye, the ear and the eye and the curve of the horn. Now you can see a little better from a distance. The second horn is starting in here. The second eye is over here. It's a 3/4 view, so you only see part of that eye. Second horn is being developed. The nose, and there it is, pretty much finished. I built an eagle feather. Oh, let me tell you about this. Somebody was doing these castings of flip-flops, and it was actually Hank's mother, the guy that brought the flagstone, had made castings of flip-flops. So we put some of those in there. So when you go to see these in person, look and see if you can find the flip-flops on the Bighorn Sheep. And also on the Bighorn Sheep are some alien rocks. We thought these guys looked like aliens. This is me standing on top of the sheep. That's how big this thing is. Started an eagle feather between the bear and the sheep. I'm working on that. Somebody brought us a rubber ducky. There's Bandit posing to show you how big the eagle feather is. And this is it from another view. And we're going to see some drone footage. This is up real close, and then I had him zoom away so you could start seeing the detail and then see the overall piece. Stuart's going to come back out and re-photograph because the last time he was out here, I was still working on the Whiptail Lizard. So we've been waiting for a day that's not windy and cloudy, and that's a difficult combination for us because usually when it's cloudy, it's windy. We'll get there though. So you can see the lizard wasn't finished in this shot, and that's the pile of rocks that we had dumped. The close-up of the cougar. That's an overall shot. A little later on, the lizard was finished, and bear was finished. I was just starting on the Bighorn Sheep there. And this is the Lundeen Inn, the entrance to the Lundeen Inn. This is a beautiful place. You must come see it if you haven't. I've got a wall, and on the wall is Tiger Tiger. That is the kinetic painting that you saw in the slideshow. And a thank you to Stuart Whitehead and Patrick Montalongo for their drone shots. And innofthearts.com, you should visit that. You can see some great interior images of the inn and my website. Okay. Lydia, if you want to, let's see. Oh, I have to do it. Let's see.
Can I say something?
Yes.
this was just fabulous. It was definitely worth the wait. I mean, I don't know if you saw me, but I was just taking pictures with my phone of everything. It was just, I wanted to see it again because you were going so fast. I mean, it was just wonderful. I love it. If this is kind of a trial for you to, you know, get 100, 200 people or whatever watching at the same time, I think you're going to have a loving audience. I just, it was wonderful. I mean, the only thing I kept thinking is it's just terrible that there's no way to protect this stuff. I mean,
yeah, we just fix it again.
Fix what?
I just fix the rocks when they're. But
anybody could walk by and ruin it, right? Because it's anyone can walk in there. I mean, you know, there's no way of protecting it other than constantly fixing it, which is too bad. If it was somehow, obviously it's out there, you know, but whatever. But I mean, it's just wonderful. I loved it. Thank you, Kathy.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm trying to unmute people, but I'm not successful at this at all. This is the worst part of this, is that when they make me a co-host, I need to be fired. This is not my.
Now everybody's on mute. Well, a lot of people are.
Oh, good. Okay, so I'm trying to get people to where they can talk.
What if they're having trouble with? You just go like this.
Hey, Kathy, real quick.
Yes, hi.
I know you won't be there tomorrow morning, but Monday morning, take a look at the spider.
Oh, is it wrecked?
It's not bad, just a little bit. I didn't want to touch it.
I saw that. It looked like a dog went dancing in the middle of the spider web. It's not serious. It wasn't. I don't think it was a person because it looked like paw prints. So.
Wanted you to take a look at it. Okay.
Yeah.
Kathy, how many total pieces of artwork do you have on that dam now?
33. I'm working on the feather. That's 34.
Wow, that is truly amazing. Which one of those is your largest piece, and how big is it?
The ram is now the largest piece. Well, some of them are long, but not tall. The longest piece I know of is the Roadrunner, is 55 feet.
Wow. Would you hazard a guess at how many hours on this dam you have?
4 years, approximately 250 days a year, if I don't count when I used to do art shows, I didn't do it full time. So I'm more full time now, 2 hours a day.
Wow.
So.
Your back has got to be killing you.
No, my back is fine. It does go out on me once in a while, but not because of the rocks. Just, you know, I just reach over and pick up something small and the back goes, but that doesn't happen very often.
Really amazing, Kathy.
Well, thank you.
I wish you'd share just a drop of that talent you have. For those of us who have none.
I'm just so glad to be able to have you guys see it. And sometime when you come visit Las Cruces, you'll need to walk the dam. You can stay at the Lundeen Inn of the Arts and walk the dam.
Sounds like a vacation to me.
Yeah.
You can talk now. We would love to have you.
Hello, Kathy.
Yes. Hi, Linda.
You know, Kathy, you've been such a part of our lives, the whole family. And now we have the new creation of these beautiful creatures and your rock art. You never stop creating. Thank God, Kathy.
It's wired in me. I don't know. I know something and I start messing with it.
I think you and Gary, my husband, were both wired to create constantly.
Yeah, I guess so, because he did some beautiful, beautiful structures.
Yes, he did. Yeah. This has just been so wonderful. I'm seeing new pieces now. After we hiked up there, I've got to do the hike again now.
Yeah.
See what you're doing. And I'm going to try to collect. I'm having my son have me pick a non-alcoholic beer so I can have some beer bottles for you.
Oh, Perrier, and I think there's some root beer that is in brown.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beer and it's not all alcohol up there. There's
We'll go for the root beer bottles now.
The Perrier.
And that's what Kathy told me. I gave her,
root beer.
I had all these wine bottles, and now I need beer bottles.
Right. So drink root beer.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Okay, I see y'all. Are you able to speak? I'm supposed to be in charge of this, and I have no idea how to make you do that.
We do it.
Irene, it says you're muted here. But
I did it so my dogs don't start barking.
Oh, okay. It was on purpose. I thought maybe it was my poor skills of co-hosting.
No, they might want to get in the conversation too.
Oh, there they are.
As Danuta, I would like to say that as soon the Las Cruces Dam with your art will be an attraction, tourist attraction. My daughter already said that she missed the walk on the dam, and she was only 4 days, but it's amazing how you are creative, and I'm glad that the battle are gone. They cannot break this anymore, and you use the lava rocks.
Well, that'll take care of that problem, but there's still that Whiptail Lizard that is full of bottles.
Or maybe they would be scared of it and don't break it.
We'll deal with the problems as they come up. Let's see. My mother used to say, don't borrow problems before they get here.
Kathy?
Yes, hi.
This was absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much for inviting us to share.
Well, you're welcome. And I'm waiting to take you in person up there someday.
That's right. When Irene gets here in July, it's on our calendar.
Okay. Sounds good. So Sandy and George walk up there every day. And occasionally bring me a jar or something. And it's so nice to see our regular people. I remember walking on the dam and you would just walk past them and you might nod or say hi or hello or whatever. But now we have long conversations and the rocks bring out, more people participating and knowing about each other. And I saw Eric and Sam working on the rock shaw because a wheel had come off and there was a bearing. So the two of them were working on wheels and bearings this morning. So it's just fun to see how this has evolved into a very social event rather than just a passing of people on the dam.
Kathy, is there a way that someone can take the tour without being formally invited, like on your web page or something?
Yes, you will see on YouTube channel, Kathy Morrow Studio on the YouTube channel. All of my recordings and presentations are there.
Thank you.
And I'll be putting this one up. I don't have a script. I just let the slides lead me and what to say. So I don't say exactly the same thing every time I do a presentation, but I do them often. And if you're on my email list, when I'm getting ready to do a presentation, you'll be getting an email about it. And all you have to do is reply yes, and then I send you the link.
Right, looking forward to it. Thank you.
I'm not sure what happened to Zoom this time, but I guess we were able to finally do it. So that's
whatever it was, do it again.
Do it again. Well, I do have another presentation of the Trail of the Painted Ponies. So you can see here this big horse in the background. I own 2 life-size horses that I did with Trail of the Painted Ponies.
You watched that one.
And yeah, and I'm working on another one. I'm going to do a presentation about kinetic art. is I've done 121, I think it's 121 paintings. I have to go back through my records and count again because I lose track sometimes. But
well, I'm still enjoying the ones hanging in my house.
Yes, yeah,
that's the best one you ever did. Sunrise.
The best one.
Tiger. Absolutely.
The best one. That's right.
No question.
I think Linda thinks it's that tiger in her gallery. Well, are there any more questions or anything anybody wants to say?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have to make appointments nowadays to go to the gallery to see
this?
Things?
Was your question.
What?
Do we need to make appointments?
Why?
For the COVID, are you still restricting people?
Can they come at any time?
Yes, you can come at any time.
Okay.
Were you asking the question about our hours?
Yes, I didn't know whether you had to make an appointment.
No, you do not. You're very welcome. We're open. We have our formal breakfast at 8:30, and then after 10:30, you're welcome to come throughout the day. And then we don't close until about 7 at night. So
Thank you.
Please come. I'll be happy to give you a tour. Okay, did that answer your question?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And for you out of towners, they've got some beautiful rooms to stay in.
Okay.
Well, one of our guest rooms is named after Kathy Morrow. It's the Kathy Morrow room. It's upstairs. It's one of everyone's favorite room. And Kathy has some of her beautiful pieces that are displayed in that room. So Kathy, she's everywhere. So we're so happy to have that room and name it after Kathy. But I would like to thank my daughter today for helping. It was a little frustrating, but she got it to work.
Yes, yes.
And Lydia is my daughter.
And Lydia is the bomb. She is the pulse of the arts. In the background, yes, running around, doing this, doing that.
I know.
Like if there's a name for multitasking in the dictionary, it has Lydia's picture behind it.
Absolutely. I call her the ambassador of the end now.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
But my mother does the night shift, so I'm very proud that she can do that for me.
Yes, I'm the night shift and morning shift person, but I enjoy being with all the beauty of the art, and our guests are just marvelous. We have people that come here from all over the world. They hear about Las Cruces, and they hear about the inn, and they just can't wait to come and enjoy the beauty of the 100-year-old adobe. That is quite an important thing for us to keep it in good stead. And then they hear about Kathy's work and the other artists. So it's a wonderful business to have. So please come and meet myself and my daughter, and we'll be here for you. Any other questions?
Well, I think it's time to say so long and goodbye, and you all be sure and be checking in on our my mailing list for sure. I think, Linda, you're working on a mailing list, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and do go to innofthearts.com and you can get a tour before you actually get to the inn. It's a great website. And
thank you. Wonderful day.
Good
job. Good job.
See you when you visit. I'll look forward to meeting you.
Nice, Sandy and George.
All right. Bye-bye.
Take care.
You too.
Leaving the meeting. Bye-bye.